Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between INnoVation and soO from the Team War Chest League. Top right hand corner we've got ourselves INnoVation, he's green, and the bottom left it is a purple Zerg player, soO. Hey, green versus purple here today. I like the different colors. I know red versus blue is the best for colorblind people, and that's why it's a standard for tournament games, but I don't know. This is kind of nice. Green versus purple here. And if it affects your color blindness, I'm sorry, but at least it's not a mirror matchup, right? Right. All right. So here we are on Pillars of Gold. soO is an excellent player. He got a first place in a premier tournament last year, and INnoVation is always good, except when I bet on him. I bet on him in GSL Season 2 in the playoffs, and he just got 3-0'd in the first round, and I lost my bet, let's see, heavily, heartily, instantly. I have a lot of adverbs there, but anyway, we've got ourselves a Reaper expand here from INnoVation. It looks like 16, 18, 17 here from soO. It looks like, and just Overlord scouting, checking to see those proxies. Not drone scouting for the proxies. I've seen that a little bit recently. I've seen Cyril do it. I've seen sort of do it as well. But just, you know, just to make sure you don't die to a proxy, because, you know, Overlords can't see everything out here. That is for sure. All right, so we're going to do a Reaper. Got an SCV coming down to see what's going on down there on the other side. Was it a 12 pool? It most certainly was not. This Reaper's name is The Entity. Emperor Mech's space god scientists found evidence of an immensely powerful being that exists in a strange forest. What the Dominion found was The Entity, a mysterious force that had gathered horror icons from across dimensions to chase after groups of survivors in a desperate gamble for survival, stealth, death, and power generators for some reason. Emperor Mech's, insulted that he wasn't collected as a horror icon, had the Entity captured and stuffed into a Reaper suit with science. Now the Entity is in a desperate game of survivors with no exit gate in sight. Reference Dead by Daylight, which I have no idea what that is. I assume that's a video game. It sounds like a video game. Could be a movie as well, though. But yeah, the Entity from Dead by Daylight is here in the house. Lings are out, though. No big deal. Ooh, the drone hiding. The Reaper didn't see it. That was a good hide, soO. That was really well done indeed. What are we doing on the other side? Factory coming up. Double gas here. Nothing too crazy. 1-1 winning it would be my guess from INnoVation at this stage. Going to go ahead and reactor up and then swap the reactor onto the factory, etc., etc. And we're getting set up for one heck of a macro game here between these two players. So happy Monday, everyone. It is now September of 2020. We are like way over halfway done with this year, guys. I know that years aren't necessarily as samey as we want them to be, right? As the starport comes up. But anyway, I just feel like maybe when 2020 is over, we'll just try to forget it ever happened. Perhaps that's the case. I don't know. Regardless, we still have some months left, but it's getting cooler here in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're interested in buying a Falcon Paladin hoodie or perhaps a nice warm hat, you can go to falconpaladin.store and see what we have available there. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's actually still probably fairly warm. Getting warmer, though, all the time, right? Maybe still fairly cool, getting warmer all the time. Hey, check this fusion core out, though. Cha-ching! We're going for the Battle Cruiser opening. I haven't seen this for a little bit of time on the channel. We'll see if INnoVation's able to get some damage done here, or if soO's just going to shrug it off easily. Seems like most Zergs, honestly, these days, at this elite level that soO's level is at, are definitely very able to handle this. If it's a double Battle Cruiser attack, it gets a little bit more difficult. And I'm not sure Zergs have that quite figured out either. But nevertheless, we will see together as the third base is coming up here from Inno. I don't think we're going to get a third. Oh, look at that timing. That timing was sick. The third base, or sorry, the fusion core finishes, and then the starport gets the tech lab at the exact same time, just about. Oh, the Entity goes down. I'm sure an Overlord would love to fly in there and see what's going on, but it doesn't have the speed upgrade, nor is it being researched. So at this point, the odds of you being able to scout this are about nil. There's a couple Marines out for defending this scout for this very particular purpose. The Overlord, I don't know, might catch a glimpse of what's going on here, possibly, but every little bit of HP that gets knocked off that thing is bad. Sees the third CC, and honestly, at this point, you could take a fourth. If you see your opponent, your Terran opponent, has a third CC and it's just about done already inside their main base, go ahead and just get a fourth base. I mean, you can also go for a lair, maybe try to kill them that way, but at this stage where soO has all this saturation on these 3 bases, I assume a fourth base is going to be next. Creep spread out to the left side. I assume that's where that base would be. Hellions trying to get stuff done, but the queen positioning is excellent. And now you have to deal with the battle cruiser and the Hellions with your queens. So the Lings are tasked with dealing with the Hellions. The queens are tasked with dealing with the battle cruisers. And you know what? They shove it away. It might get an Overlord. It does get an Overlord kill here because it made an effort to get it. This is where soO expands, I think. There's a battle cruiser out here. It's annoying. But honestly, we have enough resources to expand every bit of damage that goes on to the battle cruiser. It means he has to get on out. Are there? I don't know if there are enough Lings here, but this is so rough. The queens are on double duty, trying to handle these Hellions as well as they can, and also trying to deal with this battle cruiser as well as they can. There's not another battle cruiser on the way. It's just the one. There is Macfield Accelerator and Blue Flame coming in from INnoVation, though. So Inno is definitely working on more of a mech style, at least as far as his opening goes. He could transition into something else later, but for now, that's what we're doing. And we get a Spire. So maybe soO's worried about a second BC. Maybe he's worried about mech. Maybe he's one of those players that feels confident enough with Mutalisks to take down any kind of mech and any kind of anything that the Terran is going to toss at him. I don't know. soO might be on that list. I have my personal list of Zerg players who can handle going Mutalisks against an elite Terran player. So far, the list is approximately Rogue and Serral, and I think maybe Dark. But every other Zerg player on planet Earth, I do not trust them. So we'll see. We'll see if we get there or not. Replanting those creep tumors is so important for soO. He's doing the right thing here. This battle cruiser's got 4 kills. I mean, none of them are drones, but whatever. The good news for soO is that 4th base is coming in quite nicely. 3rd base is landed for INnoVation. Lings trying to at least kill a couple of these Hellions. Keep that number whittled down a tiny bit before the Blue Flame kicks in, which you just did, by the way. Blue Flame here. Roach is out. My gosh. Nick of time stuff here for soO. He has such great timing in his head. He's oversaturating his other bases so that he can instantly saturate the 4th base when it's done. Everyone does that. Corruptor's in production here, which, I mean, yes, you'll have 7 Corruptors, which is probably overkill for that 1 VC. But do you have any answer to these Cyclones is the question. Roaches aren't really going to do it. Lings can kind of do it, but then you have to worry about the Blue Flame Hellions, and that's what this composition's all about. The Racecar mech is all about Blue Flame to deal with the Lings, and then the Cyclones can handle pretty much anything else, with the exception of a lot of Mutalisks, which we are not doing, by the way. We have 7 Corruptors and 6 Roaches here in 8 minutes. Great wall of supply depots coming up down to that southern side there. Battlecruiser all repaired up and moving out for more shenanigans right past this some kind of Xel'Naga Protoss artifact-ish style thing. 2-2 on the way for the mech. Infestation Pit coming in, and Ravagers are a bit of a better answer for this Racecar mech stuff. I do like Ravager. Roach not as much, because the lock-on just destroys them as the Cyclones are kiting them away. But INnoVation getting a 4th base, because of course he is. Inno's macro is godlike, and it always has been, honestly. He's been so good for so long. Blue Flame Hellions go in and get 2 drone kills. 7 Hellions have gone down. Not all there, but 7 Hellions have gone down for 2 drone kills, which doesn't seem like an adequate number, honestly, to pay for themselves, but hey. Hive on the way from soO, getting started there inside the main base. Creep spread, okay, considering how much Hellion pressure there's been. The fact the bases are connected by creep is honestly pretty good. So soO holding it down. Tank count starting to increase now. We have seen this, where INnoVation has gone for a Racecar mech opening for that mobility and then transitioned into a slower, stronger mech style with the tanks and the Thors. But still making Cyclones. It's not as though he's completely stopped making the Racecar mech style, so we'll see what he does if Thor production is in the play. But he's definitely, I mean, factory, right? All these factories under production. Missile turrets coming up in case Corruptors decide to come in and start peeing on stuff. Missile turrets are a good way to prevent that. Link checking to see, is there a base up here? He's guessing right now, right? Because he doesn't know about this one. And now he knows there's not a base there. All right, good. He'll probably check that top side next, would be my guess. But these sensor towers, we usually don't see multiple sensor tower usage unless it's a TVT. But INnoVation today's decided sensor towers are the way to go, which is interesting. So here's a big Racecar mech army. Big Roach Ravager Ling thing here, though. And you don't want to stand and fight against this if you're a Racecar mech. You want to lock on against the Roaches and kill as many of them as you can. Maybe draw them into some Widow Mine fire. Why not? Zerglings, maybe try to get something done. This Great Wall of Supply Depots is not a Great Wall of Supply Depots. You'd think it is, but it is not. Maybe INnoVation maybe did that on purpose. I don't know. Dude, this battle cruiser, though, it's going to have, like, jump. That is a jump. That is not a Yamato jump. That is a jump. He doesn't have Yamato anyway. But Drilling Claws is done, so the Widow Mines can both remain cloaked while burrowed and burrow more quickly and unburrow more quickly, which is awesome. Dude, these things, how do they know? How do they know? Meanwhile, Blue Flamers! Bruh, bruh, bruh. Ow, ow, ow. Killing some stuff. Ling's getting in here, getting 5 SCV kills, forcing a lot of the army to come back to deal with that. That's really annoying stuff. 9 drones down at this stage of the game is honestly not that bad. 11 drones in the first 10 minutes is just not enough to really slow down soO all that much. 5 SCVs is also not really enough to slow down INnoVation. He can replace those quite easily. He's triple pumping SCVs and could be quadruple pumping them if he felt like it, which he probably doesn't. So here we go. Oh, did he fungal? Oh, yes, he's got the infestors. Does he have the pathogen glands? He does not. But a Greater Spire coming in. Not a huge fan of Greater Spire versus Racecar Mech. We have seen many a Zerg player die to this, trying to go Broodlords, because they're so slow. The whole point of Racecar Mech is that they're fast, and they don't have to engage where the Broodlords are. They could be down here killing stuff. The Broodlords show up. They just go up and around and back to the other side and start killing that stuff way before the Broodlords can respond to it. So I don't like it. I don't like Broodlords at all, but guess what? We've got 7 of them in production, and maybe soO can make me eat my words, right? Maybe soO can absolutely make me say that Broodlords can be used against Racecar Mech and get a victory. If he can do it against INnoVation, it's doable against anybody. Ten more Lings in production. I mean, they're effectively maxed out here at 12 minutes. If you're not maxed out at 12 minutes in your StarCraft games, well, you've got some work to do. This is the optimal way to play this thing, it turns out. Ooh, I like the double-sided, both players, actually. Left side, right siding it right now. Controlling 2 armies at once, which is tricky stuff. Oh, that battle cruiser! Oh, Crozabal takes down the BC. That is just, oh, that's embarrassing, is what it is. Now here, are you, oh my gosh, he's engaging. He's using lock-on the Broodlords to kill 3 of them pretty quickly. The Blue Flame is eating the Broodlings, and it's allowing the Cyclones to sit back and pick off the Broodlords. Transfuses are good, in fairness. And the tanks are trying to set up, but a bunch of Ravagers come around the other side. Crocodile just disgustingly well placed right there, and the army gets wiped out. Left side looking better, though, for INnoVation, because those Roaches came from the other way. So that's going to be a hatch down. There's really no saving that one, and bam, hatch killed. Right side base goes down to Cyclones 2. INnoVation really making this work. And what did I say? What did I tell you about going Broodlords against this? Not optimal. It's not great. 2 hatcheries killed here in just the space of about 10 seconds. Look at this. The Broodlords trying to fight. The Cyclones, actually, if they were microed perfectly there, they probably could have taken both of those down. But INnoVation's attention was probably elsewhere at that moment. He's now expanded to that kind of right-ish top side base. Income is hugely favoring INnoVation right now. And this is where those Broodlords just did not do what they needed to do. I don't know. I mean, it's gotta work sometimes, because otherwise players like soO would never try it, right? There's no way he would ever make the attempt. And so the fact that he's making the attempt kind of freaks me out a bit. Like, there have to be games that I'm not seeing, or that, well, just that I'm not seeing where this is working, because I'm not seeing them, I'm not casting them. I don't understand. This is a great game, though. I mean, we're seeing some good mech recently against Zerg, and it works sometimes, and it doesn't work other times, and this game is far from over. I mean, soO lost all of his Broodlords, and it was a bad idea, but it's not a finished thing at all. Also, making more Broodlords when there are, like, 7 Thors out, well, oh, yeah, 32 HP on that Thor, stayed alive. soO very intelligently backs on out when he has to. Trying to creep spread all the way up here, loving this creep spread, though. It's really, he should just toss him down, man. You're here. Sure, INnoVation might show up and shut down your tumors, but hey, could be worth. Pathogen gland starts after, you know, Infestor's been here for 4 minutes. So retaking that bottom right-hand base. The left side base is back already because that's how good at the game he is. But traditional mech is here now. And I don't know what soO necessarily has to handle this. He's got 4 roaches, 11 infestors, 2 broodlords. This might just be it. Neural Parasite, again, the great equalizer, though. Trying to get some stuff done here. Neural Parasite doing some good work, but there's still 2 Thors and 5 tanks here, but it bought him a little bit of time. Yes, the hatch is going to go down, but it bought him a tiny bit of time to get a bajillion Zerglings out with the 3 attack and the adrenal glands and wipe out these tanks. That was not an equitable trade, I don't think, for soO, but nevertheless, it's 20,000 resources lost each for these guys, as we see in the bottom right. Good news for INnoVation is he's trying to double expand, but guess what? There's burrowed lings in both of those locations, which is hilarious. But I can't believe resources lost are even right now. I would imagine that soO has lost a ton more, but you know what? Not the case. Top left base finally lands, but soO knows exactly what's happening here. Liberator, just showing up and absolutely crushing this bottom right. Did he... Dude, that Liberator shot was coming in, and he turned that drone into a spore. He dodged a Liberator shot by sporing. That's crazy talk. All right, +3 Lings with Adrenal are decent against the Blue Flame Hellions. Not like the greatest, but... Oh yeah, 9 drones going down. Blah, 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 blah. Top left-hand base is not a planetary yet, so there's a tiny window where the Zerglings can kill some SCVs, but once it's a planetary, that is going to be all she wrote for you guys. You need to get out. So planetary done. Tanks protecting this new base. Bottom right-hand base happening. Scan down here, which weird place to scan if you're Inno. I don't know what it is. But are you still making more broodlords? Don't do it, soO. I don't believe in the power of broodlords. I could be wrong. You can prove me wrong. This Liberator stuff, though, is just kind of doing great. 33 drones have gone down. A bunch of it to Liberators. A bunch of it to Hellions. A bunch of it to... Hey, look. It's a giant Cyclone Hellbat, like, siege tank army. This is so weird. Like, he just keeps showing up with different compositions every time, and I think it's throwing soO for a loop here a bit. Alright, so Baneling Roach Ravager Bomb this right side base. Cool. INnoVation's like, alright, fine. You want a base trade? Let's do this thing. I can kill your bases faster than you can kill mine, I believe. Roach Ravager damage output, not quite as good as Tank Hellbat. Cyclone damage output here. Trying to defend with some Broodlords. And maybe some Fungals, but he's trying to make Broodlords to defend. He's bringing his armies home to try to handle this. This game, though, this is exciting stuff right now. Roach is trying to come back and deal with these guys. The Broodlords, when they pop, they die. But additional ones keep popping regardless here from soO. Blinding Cloud on the tanks. Oh, really needed that. And the tanks all die. And sure, 2 bases died for soO, but again, he rebuffed the attack. The problem is the math is not adding up here. He's not killing bases himself. He has lost 5 hatcheries and killed 1 planetary. A 5-to-1 ratio of base death count is not going to do it by any stretch. Army supply, though, pretty much the same. Worker count is definitely higher for INnoVation, which, again, this little Hellion stuff is just... Oh, my gosh, that was brutal. One-hit wonder there. 18 drones down. Ugh. I don't like it. I don't like it for soO, but this whole Ravager Broodlord thing might be able to take down the planetary. The repair's really good. And are there enough Cyclones to handle these Broodlords? Because if the Cyclones are dead, the tanks are dead, is the play here. That planetary stays alive, even though 7 SCVs go down. Crikey, this is a great game. This is a really, really excellent game right here. Again, the Broodlords. There's Vikings out now, and the Cyclones are really good against them. And how many Broodlords have died today? A bajillion? Yes, 10. 10 have gone down. 33,000 resources lost for INnoVation. 31,000 for soO. Somehow, soO's being more cost-efficient against this mech style, but income-wise, not good. Nor has it been good for the last 5 minutes here. He's lost too much economy. He's making great trades with his army, but he's not trading effectively with the army, or with the economy. The infestors, okay, come up the ramp. They say, come up. Who's going to knurl these Thors? Knurling 2 of those Thors would change everything. Lings get on that right side base. This might get an epic tag. This game has been really nice back and forth stuff here for about 20 minutes already. There's a neural parasite. And it's kind of helping get damage off on the other Thors hilariously. Oh, but look at that. He didn't kill it, and it's still alive with no HP taken off it. It got neural parasited, and nobody did any damage to it at all. The whole time it was neuraled. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So soO's replaced his 2 bases. I'd really like to see him expand here. I think that's what INnoVation's thinking too. Look at him, just with the speed of these, well, not the Liberators, not much of anything else here. These could be Hellions, but whatevs. Left side boost. This is a really nice engagement at the moment here for soO. High ground tanks are more of a problem. Liberator circles are a problem here too. And this bottom right base, I think, is going to go down. I'm just not sure there's enough here for soO to handle that. At 86 to 52 workers right now, 4 more drones have died. 57 drones have died. 57 is like a decent number, and bam, INnoVation comes out on top there in 20 minutes and 56 seconds with his hybrid Racecar mech, traditional mech strategy. It's a good one. It's a good one indeed. So great game, good CVT stuff, and just too much innovation for soO right there. Resources lost. It's very strange to see a ZVT where the Terran loses more than the Zerg player does and wins anyway, but the big key to this victory were the 57 drones that were killed and only 31 SCVs died, and the sheer number of bases that INnoVation had there, just in that bottom left of the minimap, you can see it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 7 total bases. soO ended up getting 6 at some point, but kept losing them over and over. 6 hatcheries gone down. 10 Broodlords died. And to this day, I've never seen Broodlords defeat Racecar mech. Or even traditional mech recently because of the buff they gave to Thors to outrange the Broodlords. So I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do. what the attempt is here from soO, but it kind of freaks me out. That's okay. He did well. It was a really fun game. I might give it an epic tag just for the sheer amount of back and forth there, as several of INnoVation's armies died. soO lost armies. Bases went down on both sides there. We got battle cruisers. We got Thors. We got Broodlords, which we don't see a whole ton of. The Cyclones were worth their weight in gold. Infestors in the play with fungals and neural parasites, but just not enough. Not enough from soO there. Couldn't keep up economically. Did not have any kind of a bank whatsoever. And INnoVation totally did, and that was a large part of why this turned out the way that it did. All right, good stuff. Really good game for your Monday. So that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all / Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.